Well, in this section, we shall be extracting what the situation report currently is in Iran, as well as what is going on in Israel and around the Middle East, especially with countries, United States of American government allies, where they have their military bases within the Middle East. Currently, as we speak, the Islamic Republic of Iran is yet to appoint a replacement for the late Ali Ayatollah Khamenei. Unfortunately, before he passed on, the supreme leader did not announce any heir to the throne. That is to say that there is no immediate replacement for himself after his passing. So in that regard, the Islamic Republic of Iran came together and appointed a committee or set of individuals called the Council of Experts, which is made up of 88 members. And this Council of Experts are the team that will oversee the peaceful or gradual transition towards electing a new supreme leader for the Islamic Republic of Iran. Having established that, across Iran, many citizens of Iran continue to celebrate that their supreme leader finally is no more, which many consider to be a dictator, while some continues to mourn, praying that the Almighty Allah will grant the late Ali Khamenei eternal rest. Now, the United States of America, through their Central Command, has finally made it public that while all of these things were going on, the United States of American forces, as at last night, sent 2 B-2 stealth bombers down to Iran in order to destroy their the ballistic missile facilities. And these 2 B-2 bombers travel all the way from the United States of America, 18 hours, one-way journey, and then go to the site, deliver 2,000 pounds worth of, loads of, bombs into this ballistic missile facility, which of course was later made public by Fox News as well as by the United States of American Central Command.
Learning new updates this morning on the historic mission executed by the U.S. and Israel in Iran. Senior U.S. defense officials tell Fox News that 4 B-2 bombers dropped dozens of 2,000-pound penetrator bombs on Iranian ballistic missile facilities underground.
The jets flew out of Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri, and that's the same base used in the Fordow attack last summer. It was an 18-hour trip one way. The jets refueled along the way, and the B-2s have returned to the U.S.
Plus, we are now getting our first update from CENTCOM this morning. U.S. forces say they have struck an Iranian ship in the Gulf of Oman, and the ship is currently sinking to the bottom of the ocean. CENTCOM adding, quote, as the president said, members of Iran's armed forces, IRGC, and police must lay down your weapons. Abandoned ship. We'll continue to bring the latest on this as we learn more. That's pretty significant.
And for many of you who have been following us religiously on this very channel, we already talked about B-2, stealth bombers in the previous publication. So you can scroll down my page and learn 1 or 2 things about the United States of American B-2 stealth bomber. These are very highly sophisticated, heavy strategic bombers. They use what we call low observable, stealth technology to penetrate highly sophisticated anti-aircraft defense systems of many countries. That is to say that these B-2 stealth bombers have the capacity to penetrate any country's, air defense system unnoticed. Yes. And strategically, they can travel, I think, about 9,600 kilometers without refueling. So like the one that was sent by the United States of America down to Iran to destroy the ballistic missile facility, traveled 18 hours and had to refuel once on the one-way journey, and then after the mission they had to travel back again 18 hours flight down to the United States of America. And also, for the record, the B-2 stealth bombers usually have 2 pilots. One pilot on the left-hand side of the aircraft, and then what we call a mission commander, on the right-hand side. Unlike the B-1s, which usually have I think about 4 to 5 crew members on board. So these are very powerful strategic, bombers, heavy strategic bombers that have capacity for conventional and nuclear munitions. So it is owned currently only by the United States of America. So that means that even the Iranian government may not have even known that America sent their B-2 Stealth bombers. Obviously, they could not detect that in their radars until after the mission has been accomplished. Having stated that, what is going on currently is becoming concerning, which personally I'm praying that it does not escalate more than this, because as we speak there has been rains of ballistic missile attack. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps have sent 4 ballistic missile attack to one of the United States of American aircraft carrier, Abraham Lincoln. Report has it that the United States of American Central Command is yet to make public what is the consequences or devastating effect of such very attack, or whether the ballistic missiles were duly intercepted. And also, according to relevant sources, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard decided we're sending that very ballistic missile attack to United States of American aircraft carrier after the United States of American forces, through their warship stated at the Gulf of Oman, launched missile attack on one of the Jamaran covert, naval warship of the Iranian Islamic Republic of Iran, and immediately they destroyed that very, naval warship of Iran, and currently that very ship, report has it that is sinking, down to the Gulf of Oman. So, which is a very big blow to Iran, which further, confirms that there is no comparison between the Navy or the naval team of the United States of America and that of Iran. However, Iranian government, in collaboration with the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, continue to rain ballistic missile attack down to Israel. Casualties have been recorded in Tel Aviv. Several places were caught on video clip where there were fires, there were casualties, and the Israeli Prime Minister, Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu, has equally addressed the citizens of Israel, telling them that hard days ahead of time, but this time is very necessary in their history to completely dismantle the dictatorship and evil regime of the late Ali Ayatollah Khamenei. So you will not deny that fact that Iran is also inflicting serious pains on both Israel as well as some of the United States of American military bases. And equally, the United States of American Central Command has confirmed that they have lost 3 of their men, 3 of their service members to the strikes and the ballistic missile attack from Iran and the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. And they have 5 of their members heavily wounded. They have extended their condolences to America and Americans, even though they have not made the names of these, service members known to the public. I think they have to wait for about 24 hours or so before making it public to the families. They went further to reassure American Americans that they are strategically positioned to ensure that, the right thing is done at the end of the day, and that peace returns, not only for the people of Iran, but as well as for the people of Israel. But the bottom line remains that the United States of America, which Donald Trump himself has equally categorically stated, the Central Command is telling the Iranian Revolutionary Guard as well as every of their associates that it is time to lay down their weapons so that they will be treated fairly. More so, the most concerning at this material time remains that Iran Revolutionary Guard has rained missile attack on an oil tanker at the Strait of Hormuz. Many of you may not be familiar with what that statement, Strait of Hormuz, what it means. Strait of Hormuz is actually a passage, or what you can call a strait, between the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman. It's a narrow sea passage connecting the Gulf of Oman, connecting United Arab Emirates and Iran. So this narrow sea passage controls about 20 to 21% of the entire world oil deliveries or oil supply. Countries like Saudi Arabia, Iran, UAE, Qatar, many of them depend very significantly towards this very narrow passage in transporting their oils to the rest of the world. Even though Saudi Arabia has some pipeline at the Red Sea, but that accounts for a smaller percentage of their oil transportation and delivery across the globe. So this very oil tanker now that has been bombed by Iranian Revolutionary Guard at the Strait of Hormuz. What is going to happen because of that very narrow passage? If there is a blockade at that very Strait of Hormuz, it means there is likelihood that by tomorrow, being Monday, there will be collapse of the oil business globally. Yeah, because countries like China will be heavily affected. Businesses might even shut down in China because China depends heavily on this very Strait of Hormuz passage to get their oil delivered. Even though China has pipeline that connects them with Russia for gases and all of that, but that is about 10 or 20% of their oil requirement. Every other, the bigger percentage, the bigger chunk of it comes through the Strait of Hormuz. So it's a very dicey time. If more blockade happens at the Strait of Hormuz, then by tomorrow, there is likelihood that the oil businesses globally will eventually collapse. So I sincerely hope that the dynamics of this escalation does not push further into having more blockade, at the Strait of Hormuz. It's not going to be easy, I can tell you categorically, both in the West and as well as in developing nations. And even though that the Israeli Prime Minister, Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu, has maintained categorically that in the coming days that they are going to strike more thousands of targets of the terrorist regime, of the terrorist group in Iran and across board within the Middle East. So, meaning that the whole thing is intentional. But the bottom line today is that the United States of American government have once again, the same way they launched attack at the nuclear enrichment facility in the last summer in Fordo, Esfahan, and the Natanz. They have also done it again at their ballistic missile facility to ensure that these dangerous weapons are no longer being manufactured or produced. I mean, if I were Iran, their supreme leader is already late. The next thing is to begin to chart a new course of peace, in my own opinion, and begin to form an alignment. Crisis does not help anybody. Iran is currently sitting at a very tight corner, for many of you who do not know. Because at the end of the day, even if a full-blown war kicks out now between Iraq and Israel and the United States of America, Iran is heavily limited. They will face a lot of challenges. American warship and soldiers are currently stationed at the Persian Gulf, and for any missile they send, there's only just very few of them that will escape, the radars. America have radars, air defense system in Azerbaijan, in Turkey, in Kuwait, in so many countries within the Middle East. You know what I mean? So charting a new course of peace will be the solution to all of these shenanigans, to avoid doing so many other things out of rascality that will trigger more severe situations. Well, I sincerely hope that peace returns as soon as possible, and that people will continue their daily activities peacefully without fear of being fear of subjugation or fear of being intimidated. Like some sources are now saying that since after the death of the supreme leader of Iran, that Christians are now going to the church to praise and thank God, openly without fear. I don't know the validity of that very news yet, because I'm yet to confirm all of them from the mainstream media as well as from some of the state medias in Iran, which although may not also come out from their state media. However, we believe that the best will come out of this entire situation. And at this point, I'll allow you guys to be the judge. Don't forget to let me know what you think in the comment section and share this video. My another person, Siam. God bless you.